Well, welcome to our new episode of Hidden Gems, and I have a very special. Every guest is special. Let's just be real. Got to take the glasses off first because there's a glare.
Yeah.
But we have the beautiful Miss Kendra Nicolette.
Hi.
I've been looking forward to doing this interview. One of the things that I want to begin to ask you with, most everybody I've been asking is, how long have you been going to this church? But I'm not going to ask you that because Alana said the same thing you're going to say, which is
all my life.
Yes. So who are your parents?
Christina Nicolette and Jeremy Nicolette.
And then who are your grandparents?
Lynn Nicolette and Daryl Nicolette.
Okay, so like the founders of the church.
Yes.
So are your grandparents and parents. So, well, your parents aren't the founders.
But my grandparents are.
But your grandparents are.
Yes.
I have so many questions that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Being a part of this church. But I want to start with, do you remember how old you were when you surrendered your life to Jesus? I mean, you were born into the church,
Mm-hmm.
but when you made your own personal decision.
11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the experience?
Yeah, it's actually pretty wild. Okay, so like you already said, I grew up in the church. I grew up knowing like about God, whatever and stuff, but like I never really had a relationship with God. But when I was 11, I remember, I don't really know what path I was really going down, but I remember that I got into something really bad with my mom and dad. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but it was something bad. I got into a fight with my mom. My mom's like, let's just go up in my room and pray. And I'm like, fine. Because at that time, I just kind of wanted to get it over with. I'm not going to lie. Like,
The argument? Just shut your mom up, go pray.
Exactly. And I was like, I just kind of want to get this over with. So I go up to her room, and the way we were on her bed, and I was sitting, okay, so this is her bed. I was sitting here. She was sitting across from me, and she had her Bible, and we were just praying. And behind me was just like a wall and then a window. And as we were praying, I remember the entire time I was just thinking, just get it over with, just get it over with. And I was like, oh, this is boring, because I don't even know why I thought it was boring, but it was apparently. And then I'm just sitting there, and then I don't remember what my mom was praying. I don't remember any of that, but I do remember sitting there after 10 minutes of her praying, and then I felt right behind me this unexplainable presence. It was like peace. It was like comforting. It was like I could feel something was behind me. I knew nothing physical was, but I could like feel.
You
like,
sensed it.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a dangerous. It was like I wanted it to stay, and it was like calming.
Wow.
And then my mom goes, "Do you feel Jesus? Like his presence?" And I go, "No," because I didn't want to sound insane. Like I literally did not know if I was going crazy or not, but I did not want to sound insane. And then she goes, well, I feel him standing right behind you. And I, mind blown, I was like, there's no way that just happened. Because I didn't even hint, I didn't tell her. I was like, what? That could not be real. Like, I was like, there's no way that's real. And then I was like, whoa. And then I told her, I was like, well, actually, I do. Like, and I was like, I feel like he's right behind me. And she's like, that's exactly where I felt like he was there, too.
Wow.
And ever since then, that's when I was like, you know what? I think that this is all real. And I think that I want to follow that. And I want to follow God.
Yeah.
So that's around where I started my journey.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, have you had any other experiences like that?
Like encounters
that you want to share with us?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll tell you my most recent one. I think this was a couple of months ago.
Okay.
So I was at a state where I was really, really struggling with my faith. So obviously, since like I was 11, I've been wanting to grow, but obviously it's not just gonna be cupcakes, rainbows. Like it's obviously gonna have some, bumps in the road.
Oh, okay.
But it's like God wants my faith to obviously grow and stuff, and I feel like him putting me through a lot of challenges can help me rely on the faith instead of everything else, But recently, I was on my bed, and I was just on TikTok. I was just kind of rotting the day away. I mean, I was still in school. It was a Saturday. I was just like, oh, this is my only day to relax in the week. So let me scroll on TikTok. And I was really at a point where I was really struggling with my faith, and I was really having a lot of doubts and a lot of just mental stuff going on. And I try to pray and read my Bible every night before I go to bed. And I don't really do that. Well, I didn't really do that in the middle of the day or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm just on TikTok, and then all of a sudden, just a lot of Christian videos just start popping up, which is normal. Like, that's just like my feed on TikTok, because that's what I really like get into. And they didn't really stop. And then as I'm just scrolling, it's like I get this like still voice, just get off of TikTok and pray. And I was like, was that real, or was that just like in my brain? And then I scroll a little, like 3 minutes more, and then I hear it again, get off of TikTok and pray.
Wow.
So I listen, and I get off of TikTok, I get my Bible. I didn't open my Bible yet. First I like to pray before I read my Bible, but I was on my bed. I was sitting up now. I was laying down at first. I'm sitting up now, and I pray to God, I don't know what you want me to be praying about right now. Like, I feel like you're calling me to pray. And again, I don't really pray or read my Bible in the middle of the day. I'm not really sure why that was, but I just didn't really do that then.
Sure.
So then I'm like, what are you asking me to do? Like, what does my heart need? Like, I know you want me to, but what do you want me to do? Like, what is it? So I'm just waiting, and I'm listening to instrumental, like worship music, because that helps me a lot. So then I'm listening to that. I'm just waiting, and I'm like rocking back and forth. And then I immediately start getting all of these voices in my head, but they weren't like good. They were a ton of things that just kept going. You're not good enough. You're not worthy to pray, blah, blah, blah. Like a ton of other things. Wow. I started crying. And then all of these images of just any time of sin, any mistake that I've ever done flashes across in my brain just over and over again. And then I'm sobbing my eyes out, and I'm like, Lord, please forgive me. I'm like, I'm so sorry, God. Like, please forgive me. Take this pain away from me. And they got faster. Like, the images got faster, and then they just stopped. And then I felt this immediate relaxed peace, like, in my body. And then I see these big words, just bolded words in my brain. You are forgiven. They were just in my brain. And I start crying even more. And, like, not a second to waste. There was other of these pictures of me growing up. Like, pictures in my brain started flashing across my memory of me growing up to the point where I'm walking down the aisle, and you could just see me. I just remember me walking in like this dress, walking down the aisle, but before then there was pictures of me out on the streets praying, preaching, all these other things, like talking to people about God. And I was like, whoa. And then after that happened, like, I kind of collect myself from like sobbing my eyes out, and I'm like, I look like a mess. But then I just stop, and then I pray. I'm like, Lord, are you calling me to preach? Like, is this what you want me to do? Is this what you really want me to do with my life? And then 2 Bible verses popped into my head, and one was in Romans, and then another one was in Corinthians. And I go to the Romans one, and it starts talking about, I will not be afraid to preach the word or the gospel to people. And then the other one was talking about like the same thing, and I was like, okay, so this is serious. I'm like, this is what you want me to do. And then, but I remember, I skipped a major part.
Yeah.
Before while the pictures of me growing up after the you are forgiven thing, I could not only see in my brain almost like a third point of view, like as if it was like a movie, a camera, of something. Like, it's really weird to explain, because it didn't only look like Jesus, but it was like this yellow outline glowing of Jesus on my bed with his hand on my back. Wow. Just there, and I could feel his hand like on my back, piercing through my heart in a good way, like in a peaceful, just like calming, bringing me to calm like way. And then I could see him too, like while my eyes were shut, and then everything else happened. So I just thought that was really cool.
Wow, that's amazing. It's more than just cool.
Yeah, it's a little more than cool.
Wow, that's incredible,
yeah,
Kendra.
It's awesome.
So, based on that, you, 14 years old. I mean, I know a lot of people that are my age that have never had an encounter like that. And so that's beautiful. You are about to step into high school. And I was actually talking with your grandmother yesterday and found out some things about her going to high school. That there was I guess it was a 3-year, we'll have to go over the interview again, because I think it was a 3-year period of time that she was bullied by a lot of girls at school. Oh yeah,
I remember that.
And she said that, I think 3 years into this, how she came to know the Lord was that bully had had an encounter with Jesus and gave her life to Jesus,
Mhm.
went to your grandma and apologized.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, and that was just a few years ago, not very
Mhm.
long, but just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the bullying that is so intense, it's not even at school only anymore, it's
Mhm.
on social media.
Mhm.
And you're about to step into that because you'll be going to a public high school,
Mhm.
which, before I even ask the question, is I am just so amazed with you as I've watched. I am her other grandma, and I live with them.
Mhm.
So I have watched you over the years of your desire to actually be in the public school system. Now, I got to tell you, as a grandma, I'm like, no. I never told your parents, don't let her.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm praying, Jesus help her, Jesus help her, Jesus help her. Because of even what your grandma went through, it's now even more intense.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So for you to actually still have a passion to go into that says something about you, which is pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I've also witnessed with some of your friends, we talked a little bit earlier before, about how they actually do come to you because you are so loving and accepting and you don't judge.
Yeah.
And that
That's a big thing for me.
It is, I'll ask you about that in a second. But you're literally walking in the love of Jesus. You've encountered him a couple of times now. Going into that environment, so you're going to be the freshman on the campus, so you'll be the low man on the totem pole.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
And there's going to be girls that might be a little bit jealous of you. I don't know what it's like.
Probably. They were like that through 7th and 8th, so.
So now you're going to step into high school. And tell me a little bit about, first of all, your encounters with people bullying you.
Okay.
And then how you are, with your strong faith now, going into an environment that you might even get more.
So, actually, before I joined school, I thought like I had a really good relationship and connection with the Lord. Obviously, it's never perfect. Like there's many ways that you can improve them, but I was really deep and like connected and in love with the Lord. And then I joined school and I honestly got caught up in the wrong friend group, that's for sure. And I thought that they were nice people. I mean, they all told me, they were like, oh yeah, I'm Christian, oh yeah, all this stuff. And then they were really toxic in the end. Like they would constantly put me down for no reason. And then it's not like my faith with the Lord immediately escalated. It slowly went downhill because I started really trying to fit in instead of trying to focus on my faith. I was really like, well, I don't want them to keep thinking that I'm some weirdo. I don't want them to keep doing all that to me. They would kept pretty much bullying me. They were saying a lot of bad things to me behind my back about me. But they claimed to be my friends. So, and then they get mad at me if I did something. And I had a really close friend, who I'm friends with again today, but I had a really close friend then. She was probably my first best friend going into school and everything. And she was not friends. She was ex-best friends with one of my new friends. And that new friend constantly was like, oh, you're friends with her? Like, oh, why are you friends with her? She's so weird, blah, blah, blah. And I felt all this pressure from not only her, but my entire friend group. And they're painting this picture that she was a really weird, bad person to be around. But I loved her. She was so sweet to me. She never did anything wrong to me. And then they would also bully her constantly and over again. And then I remember they added me to this group chat and they were like, you need to stop being friends with her or we're dropping you. You need to stop being friends with her or you're a weirdo and you're going to be hated on by the entire school. Pretty much just all that stuff. And then I told them, can I pray about it? I was like, is it okay if I pray about it? You
actually said that to them?
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
I was like, I don't know if that's something I want to do because she never did anything to me. And I was like, I never heard anything bad that she did to anyone else. I don't know why you guys don't like her, but can I pray about it and just see what the Lord gives me? And they're like, why are you always trying to pray about everything? Why are you always trying to do all of that? Like, it's not that deep. Just do the decision. And they're like, what if God doesn't get back to you right away? I'm like, oh, I'm still going to pray about it. I'm like, I'm still going to let this up to the big man. He knows what to do. I'm like, So I prayed about it. And then I didn't hear anything. It's not like, oh, he was ignoring me. I think that, I don't even know what it was. I think that they kept just, you're a bad person if you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then what got into my head is Jenny, is her name, was moving because they bullied her so much. She was moving schools, she was moving districts, moving towns, she was moving.
How big was the group that was bullying her?
5 people.
Wow.
Yeah, there was 5 of them, and they were constantly bullying her, not through text, but also in person, not physical, just like verbally, like bullying. And then I was like, oh, like I didn't like what they were doing, but I didn't want to become weird. I was new to school. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody really. I was just trying to fit in. That's just what my natural instinct was to do. I'm pretty sure that's like normal for teenage girls. It's like they want to fit in.
Absolutely.
And
that's normal for any human, not just teenagers.
Yeah, we want to fit in. We want to be liked.
Yes.
And that's what I really wanted to do, especially because I was the new girl. I didn't want to be a weirdo.
Sure.
And then she told me she was moving, and it was like 3 weeks. She was like, I'm moving in 3 weeks, blah, blah, blah. And what got into my head is like, well, these people are going to be here for the rest of my time in middle school. She's not. So what, I have to make a decision. Like, it felt like I needed to make a decision.
Sure.
So I stopped being friends with her because they really, really got into my skin, the influence, and then next thing I know, my relationship with God is just downhill. And I'm like completely like, it's not like I was just ignoring God or whatever. Like, I would try to pray, but at the same time, it was like almost like I didn't really care enough. Like, I felt like just something, I don't know. It was a bad, this was in 7th grade, and this is like a really bad time. And then, and you know, Leah and everything, she was a part of that friend group until she snapped and was like, I can't be friends with you guys anymore. She realized, she was like recognizing, you guys are not good for me, and you guys are not a good influence. So she left, and I was friends with the whole entire group for about like 7 months or maybe 8, until I started like, I want to leave, but I was scared if I did, they would do something bad. I was scared that they would, I just didn't want to put up with that because I saw how they treated other people, and I was like, they're going to treat me like that.
Yep.
So
isn't there a show about that called Mean Girls?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is. Yeah, that's
and now
what,
you were living that.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess. I mean, Mean Girls was a little more intense, but it's like, if Mean Girls was in the 7th grade version, then yeah, probably so.
Okay.
And instead of 3 girls, it was like a couple more. So, but I do remember this one specific girl. Like, I wanted to do everything to become best friends with her because I was like, if I'm best friends with her, she won't talk bad about me. I don't know why I thought that. I just was like, if I'm best friends with her, she will treat me good.
Wow.
And it was almost, it felt like a game eliminating people one by her. She would like take people out and like start hating on them for no reason. She would do all this stuff. And then I was like, finally, I remember this one memory. I was like, finally best friends with her. I was skipping down the hallway with her. It was just me, another girl, and then her. And we were just all down the hall. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, this is great. I made it. Like, I'm her friend. I'm going to be good now. Like, this is all good. Like, I'm not going to be bullied. And then, well, next thing I know, she started bullying me again. Even though I'm more closer to her, she was picking on me. She was like down talking me. She was doing all this stuff. She was talking about my appearances. She was like talking about everything else, and it was just like, oh, what did I do? Like, I didn't even know what I did. And then finally, when Leah left that group, I was like, that gave me almost a sense of hope, and I was like, oh, I can leave. Like, I'm like, oh, it's not impossible. I'm like, I can leave this group. I was so scared of leaving, but when I finally did, yeah, it kind of expected, what I was expecting is like they would be really mad at me, and I was right. They were really mad. They were like, oh, we didn't like you anyway, you were unwanted, blah blah blah, you're so annoying, whatever. And ever since that day, it was literally 7th grade, it was the end of 7th grade going into summer, they did not like me like whatsoever. I would hear things that they would say about me even though I wouldn't see them throughout the entire summer. But that's when Leah and I got really close. So her and I became really close through 7th grade summer. We would do everything together. It was just her and I against the world. Like, we were just like, we were out there, that's for sure. We were really, really close. And then I remember getting a text message from the girl, and she texted me, and she's like, hey, I don't want to go into 8th grade with anything, and I just wanted to apologize. I wanted to say I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I was like, thank you for reaching out. It's okay. I forgive you. I'm really grateful that you said something about it. And I apologize because obviously I wasn't perfect either. Like, I could have been better, even though, like, yeah, I could have been a better friend, whatever, to anybody. And then we both apologized. We moved on. 8th grade started. I go into 8th grade. Everything's good for about 3 to 4 weeks until one day I go home and I'm in my room, I'm on my bed, and I'm on my phone, and then out of nowhere, about everybody started texting me at the same time, and it was on Snapchat. And what you can see on Snapchat is see who's texting you, like they were like, this person's typing, and every single person that I was friends with in that friend group and then friends with now started texting me at the same time. I took a screenshot. I don't know why, but I just felt like, take a screenshot. So I took a screenshot, and then they all stopped at the same time. They just stopped texting me, and I was like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, I don't know if this is a coincidence or whatever. I show them all this screenshot. I'm like, you guys were all texting, oh, that's so funny. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Except this one girl, she was being really, like, do you know what a dry texter is? It's like,
I don't. I'm so sorry.
So a dry texter is like
dry texter.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, let's say you're like typing with full sentences, full words, and then they just respond with like okay, or you as in the letter U, and then they use like periods, which no one really does anymore. I don't know if you do that. She's old.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, she was using that, which normally meant like, oh, this is a serious matter. I don't know why, but just like for the new generation, I guess that just means, oh, this is serious. So like, they're being for real. They're using real grammar. Like, okay. So she was using that, and I was like, hey, what's wrong? You seem kind of off. Because her and I would always text in like all caps, like energetically. We would always be just texting fun, happy. And she was being really off. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, whatever. I'm fine. Stop talking to me. I was like, what's going on? And I start texting Leah, and I'm like, hey, do you know what's going on? She's like, oh, no, I'm not sure what's going on. It was probably just coincidence, blah, blah, blah. And I text everyone else who was texting me. They're saying the same exact thing. And I'm like, in my heart, I felt something really bad was about to happen. Like, really, 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 really bad. And I was crying. Like, I already started crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, my friends are going to leave me. My friends don't like me anymore. Like, I did all of this. Like, I can't be alone again. Like, I just didn't want to go through what I already went through. My dad hears me crying from outside. He comes inside. He goes upstairs. He's like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? My friends don't like me. They're leaving me. And he was like, well, did they say that? I'm like, no, but they're implying it. And he was just holding me. And he's like, okay, well, I think you should get off Snapchat for the rest of the day. And I think you should just, like leave this be. I don't think they're going to leave you. I don't know what's going on. Just don't let it involve you. And then he left my room about 30 minutes later. And, of course, I don't listen. I go back on Snapchat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, sorry, Dad.
Wow, okay.
I go back on Snapchat because they texted me. And I open up the message specifically from that one girl who was acting really weird, and there's a whole paragraph of her being like, we can't be friends anymore. You're talking crap about me. And I was not. I don't know where she got that from. But there was this whole paragraph, and one by one, they all sent me these messages of them saying we can't be friends anymore, including Leah, which Leah hurt the most because it was like, oh, we had this entire summer together. We were best friends. She knew all my family. She came to every family party. Like, we were really, really close. And then I was like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? So I'm frantically texting Leah. I'm like, but I don't know what I did. And she's like, well, it's not really you. I just think I just need to take a break, blah, blah, blah. And Leah explained everything the most, like, good. Like, she was really good at explaining it. She was more calm. She was more gentle. Everyone else didn't care. They could care less. They were like, no, we're not friends. No, you're stupid. You're ugly. You're weird. We're not friends anymore. And you're talking crap about everybody. I'm like, I'm not, though. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
And then Leah was telling me, she's like, I think I just need a break. Like, I love you so much, but I can't do this anymore. I was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, tell Auntie Mia I love her because she loved Auntie Mia. Auntie Mia and her were really close even. That's how close she got.
Wow.
So that just wrecked me. I was like, I was like, oh, like, what do I even do? The rest of the night, I could not sleep. I was sobbing my eyes out. I could not sleep. In the morning, I couldn't even get up out of bed. My mom had to get up and make me get ready. Like, she had to curl my hair. She was like, getting ready. My mom was like trying to ask me questions. She's like, I don't understand. Like, why would they do this? And I'm just staring off into my mirror, looking at myself, trying not to cry again. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know what's going on either.
Traumatic, yeah.
It just happened out of nowhere, and I was like, what did I even do? And then the next day, like, my other friends, because I had more friends, but they were my friend group at the time.
Yeah. I
had 2 friend groups that I like was friends with. They came up to me and they hugged me and they were like, I'm so sorry, I heard everything that went on. You guys were super close. I don't know what happened. I'm like, I don't know either. And then I was like, they helped me a lot. Like, that's when I found out that they were the real friends. Like, they were actually really, really good people, and I was just with the wrong crowd. But they were helping me a lot. And then I had a class with one of my really close friends that I wasn't friends with anymore. And then Miss Hill was my teacher. She came up and she's like, are you guys okay? I noticed you guys aren't really, like, your talkative state, because we were forced to sit with each other because that was, like, our assigned seat, so it was pretty awkward. And we were, like, not making eye contact, like, we were looking away, like, we were not talking. And she's like, are you guys okay? Did you guys, like, get into a fight? And the other girl, she just goes, no, we're fine. I start crying. I'm like, we're okay, and I start crying. And then I get up and I go to the bathroom, and then that same girl, too, I knew a lot that, like, happened in her home life and everything, so I didn't want to be upset because I'm like, maybe this wasn't her fault. And I also bought half of her school supplies. Like, I gave her a mirror for her locker, I gave her all these binders, pencils, pens, and I don't regret doing that. Like, she needed that, and I'm okay with all of that.
Yeah.
It's just that I found out later she destroyed, like, half of it because I'm not sure why. I guess she just didn't like me anymore and stuff like that. Yeah. And I kept finding out that they were talking really badly about me, and then just everything else, you know, and then that really hurt me because I'm like, I did everything, and I didn't know what I did really wrong. And then there's just obviously little stories of them just doing things to me in the hallway. They would push me, they would crinkle up my papers and, like, throw them away. So if
Did you ever tell a teacher, or?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I was too scared to.
Just we're gonna pause this just for a second, just to highlight what the young people are going through, and even though we hear, you know, that the teachers are taking care of bullying and it's a big thing, mm-hmm. they still go through this. Yeah. And we need, as parents and grandparents, to pray over our young people to protect them, because they're facing a very brutal world out there. Mm-hmm. And so then how did you maintain, obviously the hard things that drew you away from that friend group then brought you to this other friend group, and you don't have to mention names if you don't want to. Yeah. I don't want anybody to feel like they were exposed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How did you or how are you now with your friend group because of what you experienced, mm-hmm. and what you felt? Did that change how you then treated your friends no matter what?
Actually, I'm not really sure. Like, okay. It wasn't, I treated them definitely more of opening, because what I was really scared about with my other friend group is that I did something that I didn't know I was doing. So with I was scared. That's what I did. I was like, is that why they stopped being friends with me? Was it being a certain way that I wasn't aware about? Yeah. So I became, like, extra careful with my other friend group. Okay. And I'm still friends with this other friend group, like this one that took me in pretty much. Like, after they found out that they stopped being friends with me, they came up to me and they were hugging me and stuff like that when they first found out. And now I feel very loved by them, and they love me a lot too. And I'm, like, really, really close with them. Really close with them, and it's a good amount of girls, and they are very much, they talk to me about God, and they talk to me about my relationship with Him. They give me daily Bible verses, like, they text me about that too, and they'll be like randomly, hey Kendra, I was just praying over you, and I'm like, my heart, like, you guys, like, that's so awesome. Sweet. So that's why they drew me closer to the Lord as well. And I think after that, those friends stopped being friends with me. I picked up my Bible again. I started reading the Bible. I was like, oof, I need to talk to God again. Like, where did I go? And then it went uphill from there too. It felt so nice reconnecting. But I did remember after about a week, they stopped being friends with me. I knew that I was really struggling with my faith with God and everything. Mm-hmm. And I did a prayer the night before they stopped being friends with me. Lord, take the people out of my life that are leading me away from you. And
wow.
obviously it was like, oh, like bam, like it hurt.
Huge.
But it worked, that's for sure. It worked.
He answered your prayer.
Yeah, he did. And then I got these new friends, and I'm still very good friends with them today, and I'm going out with them this Saturday, and it's like I just love talking to them about faith, about anything in general, and they're just so refreshing to be around. And actually, I was with my friend the other day, or not the other day, but like a week ago, we went out, we had a fire, we have like friend fires, or someone hosts a fire at their house, we go over. And I was at one of my friend's fire, and this one girl, she came up to me and she was like, hey Kendra, can we really talk? And that leads back into when, like, people, you know how you're saying that people come to me for help and stuff?
Yeah.
She came to me and she was like, I'm really struggling with this, and she really wanted to talk to me the whole night. So we went off and we like did our little own thing. We did manhunt, do you know what that is? It's like a hide and seek in the dark.
Oh, okay.
So hide and seek in the dark, and she wanted to be my partner, and we talked about it the entire night, and it was just really refreshing because she has the same, like, she told me many times, she's like, I feel like the only person I can really talk to because you can really get me and I don't feel judged. And I was like, that's exactly what I want it to be like.
Let me just share with them, because we were talking on our way to this interview, and she was, I was just complimenting her on how she actually is with her friend group. So what she's saying here and describing with this friend at the fire is exactly who Kendra is. And so what I want to really highlight, a couple of things that you've said. One thing that I want to highlight is how your dad came into the environment at that time when you needed him. And then also, which is beautiful, I mean, you have a great dad, you know that.
Yeah, I love my dad.
But both of your parents are very involved with these things because they went through it themselves.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to mention is you had brought up Lynn, who is a part of this Faith Worship Center, who runs the children's program. Tell me a little bit about what you were telling, let them know about your encounters with Lynn.
So when I was 13, right? I said around 13.
Yeah.
So when I was 13, I started doing Kingdom Kids, and Kingdom Kids is, you know, where the kids go when the adults could be in service or whatever, and they go, and Miss Lynn leads that, and she pretty much has like lessons, and since kids are a little bit like energetic, she like does really interactive lessons pretty much, so that's why it's like separate and stuff. And I remember before she started that, she wanted to, you know, have me and my sister help out and be like assistants and stuff where we could help keep the kids under control, and she would come every Wednesday, tell me lessons about what she would be doing with the kids that Sunday. And I was extremely like anxious. I was really scared because I'm really bad with crowds, even if they're little. Like, I'm really bad about performing in front of people because I'm scared of judgment, and I'm scared
Which, by the way, she can sing.
No.
She can sing.
No, I can't.
Sorry.
No, I can't.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I'm going to fix this a little bit.
Okay.
Get you a little bit more in this shot.
Thanks. I'm in the spotlight now.
There you are. You should have been the whole time.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No,
for
it's
that.
okay. But yeah, anyway, so I was really scared about being in little crowds, even if they're little kids, even if I grew up with them, it's like, oh, judgment, like, oh, biggest fear at the time. And the more that I did that, the more I started getting really used to it, and then the more I became really close with Mrs. Lynn, and then I learned a lot from her, and she would teach these lessons to even the little kids. She would teach them, and I would learn from them. I would be like, whoa, that hit the spot, like, okay. And I would be like, this is like crazy, like, this is like, she's so intelligent, and she's just so full of Jesus, and just so full of love, and I'm like, I want to learn, like, I want to be like that.
Wow.
And she really connected to me, like, she really just like shined like something through me, and I was just like, she woke me up pretty much from like where I knew where I wanted to be, and then from then I knew, I was like, this is what I want to do, like, I want to talk about God to people.
Wow.
I want to be able to go out into the world, and I want to be able to preach, and I want to be able to share my testimonies like I am now. Like, I want to be able to be like that. This is why I was really excited for this interview, because I love doing that.
Yeah.
And again, before Miss Lynn, you would have never like seen me out praying randomly to people or anything. Like, if I felt like God was telling me to pray, I wouldn't do that because I would be scared. And then she told me how she's like, I have these kids, like, she used to do what she's doing at our church, but with a different church. She's like, I would take these kids out, and then they would come up to me and be like, I feel like God's telling me to pray for this man over here. And then they would go pray for him. And I'm like, what? I would never even do that. And they were like 9, and I would never do that. And I'm like, that's so fascinating. And that kind of, I think, drew me into being like, what is that want of me, like, wanting to go pray for people? And I found it wasn't really a want. It's just because God is like, you should be doing that. And it's like, it helps other people. And I love helping people. I don't know if you know that, but I love it so much.
Yeah.
So that's what really drew me in, and she really changed me since then. And I've definitely lived by most of her lessons. So
that's the other thing I wanted to just really highlight is as far as I don't know if she has the title of Pastor Lynn, but she is the children's leader, and how difficult sometimes when we don't see immediate results. How it is Sunday after Sunday helping either the toddlers in preschool, or you go into what Kingdom Kids age 7 through 12 or whatever, and we don't see necessarily working with kids is a hard thing, but honestly I think it's the most crucial part of the church is the ministry too, because obviously you have encountered that and you feel like you're even called into full-time ministry because of that. That's powerful.
I feel like really the Lord speaks through kids a lot. Like it just shines through as well. And I feel like kids they grow up what they're taught on. So like their minds they're very moldable, and they're very, you're just able to, because like they're children. They don't really know anything about the world. But I feel like especially when you're a kid, you have this really amount, like you're just shining with God, and like it's almost like God uses kids a lot too. I've noticed that, like he uses them a lot because they're so innocent and they're so pure, and they know, because deep down we're humans, we're all created by God, and we deep down know that he is our creator. And kids especially know that, because it's like they don't know anything about the world, but they do know that God is our creator, and I find that so cool, and I find that so crazy. So I just love to see when kids get used by God.
Because you did that for like a year, right? You helped out with...
a little over a year.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
That's beautiful.
And I guess my mom said that ever since I've been younger, I've always been out talking about God to people, random people. I don't remember it, but I guess so. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I have some cousins that don't believe in God, or they're just not raised up in that environment, and apparently when I was younger, I would just be like, oh, God was awesome, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just, like, talk to them, like talk their ear off about God. I don't have any memory of it, but I just found it really cool. And actually, that same cousin, she's come to me many times, and she's asked, hey, I've been wanting to know more about, like, Christianity and just, like, a relationship with God and everything, and I really want to build one with him. And I was like... Are you serious? I was like, okay. That made me really happy.
That's awesome.
She even asked me on the way home from youth group, because she started going to my youth group and stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's so fun, you're going to my youth group. And then one day coming home, she's like, can we talk when I'm home? I'm like, are you okay? Like, yeah, what's happening? I freaked out. I don't know why. I just was like, this instinct mode, like, are you okay? She's like, no, I'm okay. It's about church. And I'm like, okay, sure. So then she texts me when she's home, and she's like, so I've been, like, kind of wanting to know, like, what it's like to feel the love by God. And I was like, wow, well, let me tell you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
If you were to encourage some maybe that are struggling, that are your age, 14 or even younger, or maybe even some that are older, because you mentioned somebody had reached out to you that's actually older than you, what would you encourage them to as far as the walk with the Lord?
It is not going to be easy, I'll tell you that. It's going to be pretty tough, especially if you're around people your age who have different mindsets. No matter what age you are, people are going not always to think 100% alike, and that can be really tough when you believe in something and someone else is just trying to shut it down.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, it's going to be amazing, and the walk with God is just going to open your eyes up to so many different things. He can help you grow. He can take away your pain, your anxiety. He wants to help, and he loves to help. He loves us. He loves us so much, and that's what's amazing. And no matter what,
she's preaching me happy right now.
If you just stay connected or trusting in the faith, then he will help you, and he will help you grow into this beautiful version of yourself.
Yeah.
And he will just let you see just the world and just like a different point of view and different understanding. But again, like with other people trying to give you a different mindset, trying to turn your mind around, just don't listen to them. Just keep praying through them. And in fact, pray over them. Pray over them, pray about them.
Wow, that's good.
And you want to just, I don't know, that's just what personally I would do, and that's what I still do. So
would you give any hope to people that may be watching this that have gone through being bullied?
I'll give hope. Wait, what do you mean?
How would you help them if they're watching this and like, I've gone through bullying? How what would you say to them?
Most likely that if a person's bullying you, they are definitely going through a lot of things themselves. And instead of trying to retaliate and give them what they gave you, forgive them for your heart so you can help grow. Because what I had to do was I had to learn a lot about forgiveness. I had to forgive so I could grow and keep moving forward. And just pray. Keep praying over them. Because if they have a really tough home life or anything that they're dealing with, that means that they're trying to take it out on other people for their own insecurities, whatever. And you don't know what they're going through, but God does. God knows what they're going through. And if you just stay true to that and pray over them and just ask for, one prayer that I mainly say is, Lord, I just pray that their eyes will open up to you, that you will be shown in their life in any way. And I don't know how it would happen, even if it's through me, through anybody else. I pray that it will happen because I wish the best for anybody. I would not wish worst, even if they bullied me. So I would wish happiness and love and peace, because why would you want someone to suffer like that? And if they made you suffer, why would you want them to feel that same thing? Like, why would you want them to go through all of that? Because if I know how it feels, I don't want them going through that. So I would say pray over them and keep hope for them.
Yeah.
And don't be rude back to them, even if they're being rude. I wouldn't say just don't start fights. Don't be rude. Yeah. Don't do anything like that. Many times, I can tell you, many times I wanted to, okay? Many times. I'd be in a hallway and I'm like, many times. But I didn't, because I know that's not the right thing to do. And I know that just, do what you think God would want you to do. Like, what would Jesus do? And I lived by that, so
that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So as school starts up here just in a few weeks, we just, starting some in high school, some in a new school, some going into even an environment that you just don't feel comfortable. You need to know that you're being prayed for by us older generation and covering you. And mamas and papas and grandmas and grandpas, we need to keep this generation under our prayers. Exactly what Kendra just talked about is pray for them, pray for your enemies. That's the word that Jesus has given us, and we know that we're in a spiritual battle. So as they go to school, we need to cover our kids.
Yeah.
And Kendra, you're just a beautiful example of Jesus's love.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on and talking, and we'll have you back again because this is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited once school starts, maybe we'll have you come back and tell us what high school
I will.
is all about. So thank you for joining us on this episode of Hidden Gems. You can see we have so many of them in our environment. So we just bless this generation that's starting to go to school, and we'll see you next time on Hidden Gems, and hopefully we will have Kendra.
Oh yeah, I better be back. I still have a lot to say.
She has a lot to say.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. Have a great week. We'll see you next time on Hidden Gems.
Bye.
Bye.